Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello,
Oh,
can you hear me?
I can. Can you?
Perfect. I can, yes.
Awesome. Hi, Ryan. My name's Robin, and I work at the University of Toledo. How are you?
Good, good. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. So is this your first session?
Yes, it
Are
is.
you the only presenter?
I will be, yeah.
Okay. So have they gone over some of the things that you can access when you're in?
I watched the training with like the Q&A and everything like that. So I don't, besides the training, I haven't been told anything else really, besides like sharing my screen for the presentation and stuff like that.
Let me try to show you my screen.
Okay.
Okay. So the session ends in 45 minutes. It is being recorded. You can mute yourself if you wish while you're not actively talking. And there is a button that you can also use to share your screen. And it works really well.
Okay.
Are you able to see this, Ryan?
Yes.
Okay, good. Are you playing a video?
No.
Okay, then you don't need to worry about that. In case you didn't know this, StriveScan is going to send you a list of students who are registered for the session, and they're going to give you a transcript. The email address for the help address for StriveScan, I think that's all in all of our emails. If you need to answer a student question, now I've been involved in another presentation, and the students do ask questions, and you don't want to press the answer live.
Right.
That'll share the student's name, but you are able to see the question and respond. Use the dismiss button to hide any answered questions.
Got it. And that will be whenever I click on the Q&A button, that'll show all the questions, and the dismiss button it should be right there, correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
Because
That's
I
what I
haven't
figured.
seen that end of it, but I know that it worked.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. I'm assuming it's probably there. So.
You can use the type answer button, but then send privately.
Right.
Even if you don't get to every question, that's still okay, because you're going to know all of the attendees and
Right.
you're able to respond to them individually.
Perfect.
Don't be surprised if it is 45 minutes. I mean, be aware of your time if at all possible, but don't be surprised if you suddenly see my screen that is kind of like your, I refer to it as the Oscar cutoff.
Yeah, right.
You'll
That's
see that
perfect.
screen if I need to cut you off. So please don't take it personally.
Yeah. I was going through the presentation. It only should be like 25, 30 minutes, and then I have time for questions.
Awesome.
Will you be the one ending it? Like if I get to the point where like I've answered all the questions or there are no questions and it's just kind of like I've said everything I need to, would you then pop on and end it early, or
Yes,
do I?
I could.
Okay.
I think so. I don't see why not.
Okay. I didn't know if I had to do anything.
Several participants though, and people are still joining. I don't know if you can see that, but there are.
I wasn't able to see. Do you know how many people have registered for it?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I only see that right now there are 6 other people other than us. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and see if I can make sure that we're started.
Okay. Should I share mine now, or should I wait until?
Sure, go right ahead.
Okay, cool.
Looks good.
Perfect.
I don't know, students, if you can hear me, and I'm sorry that if you were just in a practice session for us, but welcome to the OACAC version of Cleveland State University's presentation. This is the Ohio Association of College Admission Counselors, and we are thrilled that you're here to listen to Ryan this evening from Cleveland State. Please know that there are other sessions that you can attend. And if you just simply go to oacac.org, you will be able to sign up for those. This is being recorded, so you will be able to replay it later. And Ryan will also have names of participants so he can get back in touch with you. If for any reason you are not able to have your question answered today, then he will be able to get back with you. And just know that you can ask questions. There's a Q&A button, and I know that it works successfully in other sessions, so please know that you can ask questions, and Ryan will address those as he can, and he can tell you whether he wants you to wait until the end to answer questions or how he wishes to proceed. But just know that you are muted the entire time, as I will be. So I'm going to let Ryan take it away. Thank you for being
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you for the introduction. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm Ryan Hanahan. I'm an admissions counselor at Cleveland State University. I appreciate you all joining tonight. I know it's a little after hours, so I appreciate you taking the time to sit down, learn a little bit more about Cleveland State University, and hopefully we can see you on campus next fall. So that being said, like I said, I'm Ryan Hanahan. I am an admissions counselor at Cleveland University. My contact info is on the screen for you. Right now, I think the best way to reach me or anyone in our office is via email. We're all working remotely right now with cycles going into the office. So the best way to really get a hold of all of us is through our email addresses, but you're welcome to call. Our calls are being forwarded. So even if we don't answer right away, we will get the voicemail and then be able to get back to you. My specific territory that I work for is Ashtabula, Lake, Geauga, and Trumbull County. I also work with students in Pennsylvania and New York as well. So even if you're not in one of those Northeast Ohio counties, feel free, if you have a question, you can email me later on. I'll make sure to get you connected with your admissions counselor. We're going to cover a lot of information throughout this presentation, a lot of information about Cleveland State University, the city, what we're providing for our students, and opportunities for them as well outside of CSU. If you have questions, feel free to put them in that Q&A section. I'll be happy to answer them at the end. I tried to save a little time at the end to go through and answer any questions. If I cover the content during the presentation, no worries, we can always cycle back to it and talk again. I will be the only one answering questions, so if I don't get to your question tonight, I will get that report. That'll have your name, contact info, and the question, so I'll be able to follow up with you at a later date. But like I said, feel free to put any questions in that Q&A. I'll be happy to answer them at the end. And with that being said, let's go ahead and we'll learn a little bit more about Cleveland State University. So at Cleveland State, we have around 16,000 students, a little bit north of 16,000 students. It makes us a mid-sized university. In my opinion, I think it's like the perfect size university because there's 16,000 students. You're in downtown Cleveland. You're not going to know everyone on campus, and really there's no reason to know every single person on campus. But what we can do with that amount of students is have a small classroom. So your average class is going to be about 23 students. And what's really great about that is you're going to have a personal connection with your professor. They're going to know you by your first name. Even if you're walking through downtown and they see you, they'll call you out by your first name. You'll have that personal connection. And what's really great about that is you can use it for, internships, co-ops. They'll help you out throughout your process at CSU. A lot of our professors are professionals in their field who have now come back to help teach our students. So they have a lot of connections and partnerships that you can really use their assistance with whenever you're looking to find that internship or that job opportunity. What's also nice is we are located right there in downtown Cleveland. Even if you are local to the area, though, you're not going to be sitting in a classroom with students from your local area, local town, or even your high school. We have students joining us from 38 states as well as 79 different countries. So even though we have a small classroom, you might think, hey, I live just outside of Cleveland or whatever it is. I don't want to go to a college with all the people from my high school. Most likely, you're not going to be sitting in a classroom with those students. You're going to be joined by people from all over the country, all over the world, which is a really unique experience for our students to learn more about different students, their backgrounds, and everything like that, which is really, really cool opportunity. We offer over 175 different academic programs for our students, so there's a lot for them to get involved in within the classroom. But on top of that, outside the classroom, we have 18 Division I sports. So if you're looking to compete in a Division I athletics, we also have those 18 D1 sports. But in addition to that, even if you don't want to be a D1 athlete, you just want to play, basketball or soccer, whatever it is, we offer a lot of recreational sports, intramurals as well. So again, there's a lot of things happening for our students outside the classroom. We are a young university. We were only established in 1964, but since then we've had over 140,000 different graduates come through and do a lot of great things. We'll kind of touch on that a little bit later as far as, those graduates, what they've gone on and done and the opportunities they provide for our students who are currently at CSU right now. So I know during this time, there's, during the college search process, there's a lot of people like me who are talking to you, constantly throwing information at you, and it can get very confusing and overwhelming at times. So even though we're going to be talking about a lot of info with CSU tonight, the main 4 things we always try to make sure students remember when they think about CSU are our engaged learning approach, our academic reputation, our dynamic campus experience, as well as our value and affordability of that education we provide to our students. And we'll talk a little bit more about each of those as we go through the presentation. But again, those are the 4 main things we really try to push to anyone who's interested in CSU. So when they're thinking about their college decision, college options, these are the 4 things that really stick out to them. So engaged learning, what is that? It's not really just a motto at CSU. It's really at the heart of everything we do. It's our way of providing our students with real world life experiences. What I tell students I talk to all the time is, obviously we'd love for you to come to CSU, but we don't want you to come here, sit in the classroom for 4 years, graduate, get your degree, get a job, go to your job, and then realize you don't like anything about what you're doing. So with that engaged learning approach, we're gonna get you outside the classroom so you understand the field you're going into hands-on, but also when you're in the classroom, you're understanding it from the academic side as well. So again, we're gonna get you outside the classroom. We think your time outside the classroom is just as important as your time with inside the classroom. So like I was saying, inside the classroom, and something I mentioned before, a lot of our professors are experts in their field who have now come back to help teach our students. So you're gonna be in a small classroom with someone who's an expert in their field, which really gives you a hands-on approach. They have partnerships, connections that they've built through their professional career that you have access to as well. Outside the classroom, from where we're located, being in downtown Cleveland, we're able to offer our students over 3,000 internships in co-ops a year. A lot of these are at Fortune 500, Fortune 250 companies located right down the street. So below right there, you can see in the city of Cleveland, there's the Cleveland Clinic, Cleveland Museum of Art, NASA, Cavs, Indian Browns. All of these locations are right by our campus. So essentially students can go to class, finish up with their class, walk outside, turn left or right, and they're at one of these Fortune 500 or Fortune 250 companies where they can then proceed with their internship and gain valuable, work experience for the field that they're looking to go into after graduating from CSU. Our academic reputation. So the U.S. News and World Report consistently lists us as a top university, which is a distinction given about 280 different schools. We're also named a best school for vets by Military Times. And then for transfer students, we've been named to the Phi Theta Kappa honor roll for our transfer distinction. So 3 great things that we really are proud of with our university to be noted for on these different platforms. Like I mentioned before, again, we have over 175 different academic programs within 10 colleges at CSU. So really whatever you're looking to study, we probably have that program for you. There's a lot of options. Most times students know exactly what they want to go into when they go to school. Sometimes people don't know right away, and that's totally fine. And we even have an exploratory major where you can take, certain classes within each department and kind of find the best fit for you. But we have a lot of programs. We want to make sure that you find, the best fit for yourself. So we make sure we offer as many academic programs as possible. Talking about those partnerships, you can see below we have the Neomed Playhouse Square is the 2nd largest theater district in the country. That's also where our arts campus is located. So any show, gallery, exhibit, whatever's happening at Playhouse Square on the arts campus, those students have the opportunity to work either alongside professionals or backstage, which is a really great opportunity. If you're looking to get into the arts, there's no better place, than Playhouse Square to be taking your classes, your rehearsals, wherever it is, especially with those shows and galleries, exhibits that come through there regularly. Going on our academic reputation, a few things we offer to our students that help them out while they're at CSU with their academics is our multi-term registration. So at most places, when you schedule your classes, you're only scheduling, a fall semester, and then you do that whole fall semester. And at the end of that, you then have to set up a time to schedule your spring semester. It can be very stressful. Sometimes you're waking up at 4 or 5 in the morning just to get a good time so you can schedule your classes because you don't want to get put on a wait list or you don't want to miss getting into the class. So What we offer at CSU is multi-term registration. So what that allows you to do is allows you to schedule your whole fall semester and spring semester all at the same time. So when you're done with scheduling, you know your whole first year of classes or whole year of classes, depending on what year you are. But again, it just allows students to plan ahead. If you have a part-time job, if you only like taking classes in the evening or taking classes in the morning, it allows you to kind of plan out your schedule ahead of time. So you know, I know my whole my whole fall schedule is going to be in the morning, but I work in the spring. I work, you know, in the morning, so I have to switch that in the evening classes. So again, it takes a little bit of stress off the students, allows them to plan a little bit better, and you know, plan their whole schedule at one time. Degree audit is something we offer our students, and also something that their advisor has access to, but essentially allows our students to keep on track with the graduation. So whenever you declare your major, the degree audit will then show you all the classes you need to take in order to receive your degree, and it will show you your progress through each one. So you know, you never get behind, you always know what classes you need to take, and it's something you can work on with your advisor. So you can say, hey, for the fall, I want to take these 3 required classes, and I'm going to take this required class in the spring. It just allows you students to keep on track. We want to make sure a lot of students want to go to school, get their degree, get that first job right away. So we want to make sure we can keep you on track so you can go ahead and get that first job and keep moving forward. The personalized academic advising, something I always tell students is no matter what year you are, your first year or your last year at CSU, there should never be a time where you feel like you don't have someone in your corner there to help you out. So there's a lot of people at CSU whose sole job is to assist our students and make sure that they're okay in their classes or they feel comfortable. They always have a support system. So with academic advising for our first year students, we have first year advisors. So your entire first year, you have a first year advisor who's assigned to you, who helps you out with adding classes, dropping classes. If you need to get a tutor, whatever it is, that person is assigned to help you out your entire first year. After that, you'll then get a department-based advisor who will, depending on what program you go into, they'll be specific to that program, to help you with that degree audit, so you obviously stay on track and reach your degree on time. We also have a tutoring and academic success center. Again, people within the center are there to help our students out. The hardest thing is just going and asking for help. But we have a lot of people at CSU who want to help and make sure that you feel comfortable, you're being successful in your classes. So we have tutoring and the academic success center there for students to make sure that they do that way. And there'll be professional staff. It can even be students who've been recommended by their professors to tutor other students. Again, it's another thing we have for students just so they can help them out as much as possible, make them feel comfortable and be as successful as possible at CSU. And then going back on that alumni network, I mentioned it before, but we were our very young university, only established in 1964. But we had over 140,000 different graduates come through. A lot of them stay local to the area too, so they kind of have a soft spot for CSU, and they obviously are looking to see what they can do to help CSU students out as much as possible. That's where a lot of those partnerships and connections come from for internships and co-ops for our students. I know before, and for some it's not a secret, but our dynamic campus, we're located right in downtown Cleveland. We're not a small college town in the middle of nowhere with a highway in, highway out. We're located right in the center of the city. And we really stress on that and really make an emphasis of it because we have a very unique and dynamic campus. Cleveland's not the same city it was 4 or 5 years ago. It's gone through a lot of changes, a lot of renovations. A lot of young professionals and students have started moving back into the city, and the city's kind of understood that and really embraced that change. So there's a lot of really cool things happening within downtown for the city of Cleveland, but also for our students who happen to be going to class and living there. A few things that are really located really closely to our campus are Playhouse Square, like I mentioned before, which actually houses our arts campus. Cleveland Orchestra is also there too. So again, the opportunity to go watch the Cleveland Orchestra is a 5-minute walk down campus. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is not too far from campus, as well as the Cleveland Museum of Art. And then also surrounding campus, there are different cultural districts such as like Ohio City and Little Italy that offer a lot of different cool different shops, restaurants, and stuff like that for students. The Cleveland Metro Parks are also surrounding our campus too. So even though we are located in a city, you could take a quick bus ride, a quick drive to one of the Metro Parks, and you wouldn't even know you're in downtown anymore. And the RTA U-Pass is something we offer our students, which allows them to ride all of the RTA buses and trains at no additional cost. So as a student at CSU, the RTA U-Pass is built into your tuition. Like I said, it allows you to ride the buses and trains at no additional cost. Essentially, you just hop on the bus, show the driver your ID card. There'll be a little sticker on there that signifies it's the U-Pass. they'll either give you a thumbs up or a head nod, or they'll probably just ignore you because they don't really care. But what's nice is you don't have to worry about paying for a bus ticket to get around. And you can hop on the bus and go to all these different locations on the screen. The bus line runs right through the middle of campus, so it's very easy to hop on, hop off wherever you need to go. But what's nice is our campus isn't, spread out throughout the city. It's all in one central location, so it's very easy to get around. The youth pass is something I really stress to students because we are located in downtown Cleveland. You are able to have a car if you like, but no matter what city you go to, parking is going to be the same no matter what. So with the U-Pass and where our campus is located and what's around our campus, you really don't need to have a car. There's plenty of transportation options available, and the U-Pass is something I think students really like, and it really helps them kind of get off the campus, see the city, take in these different areas that aren't really available at other institutions and stuff like that. Another thing, like we've said before, your time inside the classroom is very important, and we really hope you have a great time and enjoy your time while you're on CSU's campus and in the classroom. But we think your time outside the classroom is just as important. So we have over 200 different clubs and organizations for our students that can join when they're outside the classroom and meet students with similar interests and similar backgrounds, and like I said, really just enjoy their time outside the classroom. So these clubs and organizations include, civic, social, career and professional groups, and intramural sports, like I mentioned before. Really, if you think about it, whatever you're interested in, there's probably already a group or organization put together. If not, it's really easy to start one. All you need is you and 3 other students and then a faculty member to sign off on it, and you have your own club. And it can be really whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be anything like specific to like academics or anything like that, or whatever. We have a macaroni and cheese club, and I think that they meet like once a week or once a month, and they just eat macaroni and cheese. So again, it doesn't have to be anything like with the academic value. It's just people getting together with similar interests who like to hang out and eat macaroni and cheese, and that's totally awesome. And we totally encourage students to join groups. So like we said, so you enjoy your time outside the classroom at CSU. So for where we're located, we offer a few different housing options for our students, and the housing situation at CSU is a little bit different compared to other schools. With that being said, we do have 2 residence halls, but we do not make a requirement for students to live on campus at CSU. So whether you're a first-year student, second, third, fourth, you're never required to live on campus if you don't want to. But we do offer the 2 residence halls for our students who do want to live on campus. For students who don't want to live on campus, there are a number of off-campus apartment complexes that pretty much just surround our campus. They pretty much cater to young professionals and our students, so it's almost like a residence hall, but they're not associated with CSU. But we also realize that we do have a lot of students from the surrounding area who are commuters. So we do accommodate to our commuter students with, allowing cars, parking garages, and spots for our students, as well as a commuter lounge in our student center. For students who don't have a room to go to, in the middle of the day, there's a commuter's lounge specifically only for commuter students that has couches, TVs, study areas, a kitchen area as well. So again, it's a space for students who don't have a room to go to in between classes to relax, decompress a little bit, get some studying done before they have to go to their next class, before leaving to go home for the day after the classes. So one of our residence halls, which is actually our first-year residence hall, is called Fenn Tower. So like I said, this is our first-year residence hall, so all first-year students who are looking to live on campus will live in Fenn Tower. It is a renovated historic building. It's one of the tallest buildings on campus, so it's hard to miss when you're walking through downtown Cleveland. But like I said, the outer shell looks a little bit older and more historic, but the inside has been renovated to be a modern living experience for students. So it offers some really awesome views of the city as well as the lake. It's pretty much a nice downtown apartment without the price of a nice downtown apartment. It houses around 425 first-year students, and within there, since it is a high-rise residence hall, they do include like honors and scholars floors, and floors for specific groups of students. Like I said, honor students and scholar students. What's also nice about that too is there's no community bathroom, so every student, whether you're in a double or a quad, you'll have your own private bathroom. We're generally sharing with your roommates, which is a nice bonus too. You don't have to worry about sharing a bathroom with 30 or 40 other people on the floor. You have your own room, you have your own bathroom. Like I said, it offers some really awesome views of the lake as well as downtown Cleveland, which essentially you have a nice downtown apartment without that price of the nice downtown apartment. The other residence hall we have on campus it's called Euclid Commons. This is more of an apartment style residence hall, but it offers 4-person suites, houses about 585 students from sophomore to senior year. But they're all private bedroom options as well. So most of the rooms are going to be a quad. You have your own bedroom, and then there's community bathrooms within those quads. But there's also community living and kitchen areas within all those suites as well. Like I said, this is for sophomores through seniors. But again, it's much more apartment style. Fenn Tower is a little bit more community based, so it gives students the opportunity to, it's first time living on your own. You understand, living in downtown Cleveland, meeting new people. So it's much more community based within Fenn Tower. Euclid Commons has a little bit more space to be on your own and live within that apartment style in downtown Cleveland. So a big thing we like to touch on a lot is the value and affordability of that CSU education, how much it means to our students and their families. CSU already has one of the lowest tuition rates in the state of Ohio, which really is a great value for in-state students, but also is a great value for out-of-state students as well because of our low tuition. In addition to that, we do offer competitive renewable scholarships that are merit-based for incoming students, but there's also a lot of department-based scholarships as well that students can apply for. We'll talk a little bit more about those scholarships here in a moment. In addition to that low tuition for our in-state and out-of-state students, we have our CSU guarantee. So this actually went into effect in the fall of 2018 for all of our incoming students. Essentially what it means is no increase in your tuition for the 4 years or 8 semesters it takes you to reach your degree. So whenever you become a student at CSU, whatever your tuition rate is, you're locked into it for 4 years. It will never change. It will never go up. You'll never get a bill in the mail, or your parents will never get a letter saying you owe X amount of money. You know exactly what your tuition is for each semester for all 4 years. What that allows our students to do is graduate with less debt. It's 16% below the statewide average. So you obviously can plan, what's coming your way each semester. But the biggest thing is just allows families and students to better budget and plan for the 4 years. We know a lot of time, money, and resources go into school. So if we can be upfront with you as much as possible with your tuition and what's coming your way, we want to make sure we do so. Like I said, the guarantee is you're locked into that tuition for 4 years. It will never change. The only change it really can go through is with those merit-based scholarships. So when you apply to CSU, if you receive a scholarship, it will automatically come out of that tuition. You'll know right away when you're applying what you can fall into. So your tuition will never go up, but essentially you can always go down each semester with those scholarships you could earn at CSU. To give you a little picture of the tuition and fee schedule for our 2020 and 2021, for in-state students, our 1 full year of tuition is a little over $11,000, so a little over $5,500 per semester. For room, depending on if you're in Fenn Tower, if you're in a quad or a double, it's going to be a rough estimate around $7,000 or so. Board, if you're living on campus, you're required to have a meal plan. If you're commuting or living in an apartment, you don't have to have a meal plan, but it's encouraged just because it's nice to be able to pop in and get a quick bite to eat with friends or in between classes, whenever. Again, that's another estimated cost depending on what meal plan. There are different options for if you need a lot of meals, if you only need a couple meals. These numbers are all rough estimates to give you an idea. The only numbers to really focus on are those tuition for in-state and out-of-state. Those are the actual costs for this 2020-2021 schedule. But in general, for first a full year at CSU, for in-state students, you're looking around $23,803, and then for out-of-state students, $28,569. Like I said, these are just to give you some general numbers, some estimates of the cost of CSU, but really the number I always tell students to focus on is that tuition. Just so you have an idea of that's already locked in. That's the guarantee for those students who have entered in the fall of 2020. But it gives you the idea of what our tuition rates are for the fall and spring semesters. So going back to those first year scholarships. So our institutional scholarships typically range up to $24,000 for in-state students. They're going to be based off of your GPA and test scores. And we have, we don't have a hard deadline for our general application. The only deadline we really push for our students is March 1st. And that's because these scholarships we offer for first year students are as funds are available. So up until March 1st, we can guarantee that scholarship. After that date, if we don't have the funds, unfortunately, we can't do so. So we want to make sure you can get as much money as possible for your hard work you've done in school. So just by March 1st, make sure you have all of your up-to-date materials to us as soon as possible. That way we can give you that scholarship. What's nice about these scholarships is they're automatic and renewable. So when you apply to CSU, we'll ask for your transcript. We'll look at that transcript. Depending on if you meet the criteria for that scholarship and you're awarded it, it's automatically put on your account. and it's renewable for all 4 years. So you don't have to do anything special. You don't have to reapply. You don't have to fill out a separate application or anything like that. As long as you keep your GPA at CSU, that merit-based scholarship will stay with you all 4 years. So again, going back to the planning process, you already know what the tuition rate is for the fall and spring semester. And if you already know you're coming in with a $2,500 scholarship, you can automatically take that right off of your tuition. So you have a better idea of what's coming each semester. Again, allows you guys a better budget, better plan, and make it a little bit easier as you go through your 4 years at CSU. There is one exception. We do have an honors college scholarship. Students who receive this will receive full tuition for all 4 years at CSU. The minimum criteria for this scholarship is at least a 30 on your ACT or to be in the top 10% of your graduating class. So what I always tell students, if you have that criteria, it does not hurt to fill out that application for that scholarship because one, if you get selected, you get full tuition for all 4 years. If you don't, probably with your GPA and your test scores, you're going to get a nice scholarship anyway. So it doesn't hurt to apply. It is competitive admission. They only select usually around 40 students. But like I said, if you have the criteria, it doesn't hurt to go ahead and fill it out. That is a separate application, compared to our merit-based scholarship. So for the honors college scholarship, students will have to fill out a separate application, and that is due by January 15th. And like I said, the minimum criteria to apply is at least a 30 on your ACT or to be in the top 10% of your graduating class. So the next steps in the next couple of slides talk are becoming a Viking and your application, and then just next steps you want to go through so we can communicate with you during your senior year, get you back out on campus for orientation in the summer, and then get you ready to go for your first fall at CSU. So if you're looking to apply to CSU, there's a couple options you have. You can apply online at engagecsu.com, which is listed right there on the screen. From there, you'll see our CSU application. This is an internal document. It is what I encourage students to fill out if they're ever looking to apply to CSU. Like I said, it's internal. It should only take you about 15, 20 minutes to fill out the application. We won't need your transcripts or anything like that for that application you submitted. Really, the hardest part is knowing your social security number. And if you know that, you'll be done in 15 minutes. Since it's an internal document, it'll update overnight. And then in 24 hours, you'll get an email from us with your CSU ID number and the next steps so you can go through the application process and we can get you an admissions decision. In addition to that, we do have the Common App. We are on that as well. So you can find that by going to engagecsu.com as well. I know the Common App takes a little bit longer, but once you're done with it, you're able to send it out to however many schools. So there's two options, whatever works best for you. Like I said, I always encourage students to fill out the CSU app just because of the ease and how quickly you can get a decision back from us. But whatever works for you, like I said, we're on the Common App as well as our CSU application. So in addition to your application, there's a few things we'll need from you. We will need your official high school transcript. Typically, we were asking students for ACT or SAT test scores. One change we made for this fall of 2021 class is we're going to be waiving ACT or SAT test scores. So if you were able to take those test scores, great, you can submit those, but we're not going to be looking at those for an admissions decision. Really what we're going to be looking for is your high school transcript with your cumulative high school GPA. So going back on our scholarships, if you apply tomorrow and you submit your transcript, you go through this fall semester and you improve your grades and your cumulative GPA goes up, send us a new transcript because that could bump you up into a new merit-based scholarship category. So like I said, all we need is at least your high school transcript. If you are able to take your ACT or SAT, you have those test scores, you can submit those as well. But what we're going to be looking at for our admissions decision is that transcript. Any student who's looking to transfer into CSU will need all official college or university transcripts from accredited institutions that you already attended. And that last box says there is a $40 application fee. You can disregard that right now. We are actually not charging students for the application. So right now, you can go online, apply for free. It's the perfect time to go ahead and apply because it's not going to cost you anything. What it's going to cost you is 15, 20 minutes of your time to fill out that application. So like I said, you can disregard that application fee right now. We are not charging students for an application fee. So really right now is the perfect time to go ahead and submit an application and get the process started at CSU. So once you've submitted your application, and once we get that transcript from you, it's about a 1 to 2 week turnaround before you get an admissions decision from us. Once you hear back from us, these are the kind of next steps we like to go through with students just so we can stay in contact with you during your senior year. Like I said, get you back out here in the summer for orientation and then get you ready to go for your first fall in Cleveland. So October of your senior year, you want to go ahead and file for the FAFSA. for your financial aid and have all those results sent to CSU. If you are interested in living on campus, there is an on-campus housing application you will need to fill out. That actually opens up in November of your senior year. So October 1st, go ahead, file for the FAFSA. November 1st, fill out the housing application if you're interested. You saw the numbers on the screen. We only house about 425 students in that first year residence hall. So they fill up rather quickly. I always encourage students November 1st, go in, even if you're not sure 100% that you want to live on campus or you want to commute or get an apartment. The best thing to do is go online, fill out the housing application, lock yourself into a room, and then at least have that option in your back pocket to change if you need to at a later date. You can find the housing application by going to our website, so csuohio.edu. Just searching residence life, it will pull you up to their page, and then you can fill out that application. Again, it's a very quick and easy process, but November 1st is when it'll be open, and that's when I encourage students to go ahead and submit that application. If you've taken any CCP classes or AP classes, we'll do a full credit evaluation for you. So like I said, with your application, we're gonna ask you for your high school transcript. We'll then do a full credit evaluation. So if you've taken that AP class or CCP class, you've already passed the class, received credit for it. We're not gonna make you come to CSU and retake the class and try to get the same grade again. We've already know that you can pass the class, you have the credit, so we'll do that full credit evaluation so you know what classes you already have credit for while you're scheduling for your fall and spring semesters at CSU. Around mid-March or so is when you'll receive your financial aid award letter. So any loans, grants, scholarships, any money coming your way will get sent to you around mid-March of your senior year, which will give you a good amount of time to check your options, see what CSU is offering, what other schools and universities are offering you. Like I said, to kind of lay out the numbers and find the best fit for you. During that time, you can go online and fill out or take your math placement test. So this is something we'll actually be in contact with you about. It's an online test, it's timed, and all it is just to make sure we put you in the correct college level math course. All students are required to take it. And again, like I said, it's just to make sure that you're placed in that correct college level math course. We don't want to put you in a course that's too hard for you or too easy for you. We want to make sure that you are successful. So that's why we have all students take that math placement test. After reviewing your financial aid award letters and taking that math placement test, if CSU still feels like the best option and you're excited to join the Viking community, you can go online and accept your admission through CampusNet, which you'll receive information about after you apply. And then the way you let us know that you'll be attending in the fall is by submitting your enrollment fee. So this is a $120 enrollment fee, but it will cover the cost for you and 2 guests at orientation, as well as your Viking ID card. That enrollment fee is refundable up until May 1st. So say mid-March, you receive your financial award letter, you take your math placement test, you're excited about CSU, everything feels right, you go ahead and pay that $120, and then something changes and you can't attend, you just let us know by May 1st and we'll be able to refund that $120 for you. After that though, once you pay that enrollment fee, the next step is to go ahead and sign up for orientation. So our orientation programs run all throughout the summer. It's gonna be a full day on campus, so it's 8:30 to 3:30. You're gonna meet a lot of faculty, staff, different people from around CSU who are there to help you out. But you're also gonna meet a lot of other first-year students. So it's a great way to connect with the incoming class, make some new friends, and kind of get yourself ready for getting started in a few months in the fall. The biggest thing about that day though is you're gonna actually sit down with your advisor. And like I said, with multi-term registration, we're gonna have you schedule your whole first year, or whole fall and spring semester schedules during that day. So like I said, you'll sit down with your advisor, they'll talk to you about your credit evaluation, what program you're going into, and then by the time you leave, after 3:30 on that orientation date, you'll know your whole first year fall schedule as well as your spring schedule, and your professors, what classroom you're in, and that way, like I said, you can get yourself ready to go. So when you come back in the fall, you're ready to hit the ground running and start in the classes at CSU. So as we wrap up here, a few other ways to engage with us and stay connected with CSU as you go through your senior year. A few different virtual options we're offering for our students is the CSU Virtual Welcome Center, as well as virtual information sessions and campus tours. So if you're looking to join our Virtual Welcome Center or register for a virtual info session and tour, you can do so by visiting engagecsu.com/visit. The Virtual Welcome Center is a really cool platform we put together with all the different colleges and departments around campus. So it's a way to connect with, staff within the admissions office, but also current students within, the business school or engineering school, whatever program you're looking to go into, but you also connect with different faculty as well within those colleges. So essentially you make a profile, you join a community with it once you're in the Welcome Center, and then that gives you the opportunity to connect with, like I said, different students, faculty, staff around CSU. We're also offering one-on-one virtual meetings with admissions counselors. So what you can do is you can visit, again, engagecsu.com/visit. You'll be able to find your admissions counselor for your specific territory. So like I said, I work with students in Ashtabula, Lake, Geauga, and Trumbull counties in Northeast Ohio, as well as Pennsylvania and New York. So you'll be able to find, based off your county, who your admissions counselor is, and then you can look at their calendar, find a time to talk with them. It could be a 30-minute meeting or a 60-minute meeting. It could be either a phone call or a video conference like this through Zoom. It gives you all those options. But again, another way to connect with your admissions counselor to get some more questions answered as you go through the college decision process. We also just started doing in-person information sessions as well as campus tours. So we're actually going to be hosting 3 in-person information sessions and tours Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 2 o'clock. Again, common theme here, if you're looking to get registered and do one of those in-campus tours and information sessions, just go to engagecsu.com/visit to register. Like I said, spaces are limited. We're trying to make sure everyone is as safe as possible. And health and safety protocols must be followed before coming to campus. So you'll be informed of that while you're registering. But again, 3 times a day, Monday through Friday, 10, 12, and 2. And we're also going to be hosting a 2020 webinar series. So these are webinars we're going to be doing it throughout the fall, touching on different topics such as the application process, financial aid, student panels with current students as well as alumni, and a lot of different fun webinars to come. So if you are interested, invites are going to be sent out to students who are interested in CSU, who've reached out to us, who we've talked to, who've applied. So if you already started the process, if you're already receiving notifications and emails from us, you'll start receiving these invites for the fall or the 2020 webinar series. So keep a lookout for those. Again, there'll be a lot of really good information as you go through this college decision process with the application, financial aid, and like I said, current and alumni panels, which are really beneficial to hear from current students, but students who have come through and, like I said, gone on to do some really great things. So that about wraps up the whole presentation. I know there's a lot to take in, but like I said, hopefully you can remember those 4 main things. My contact information is on the screen here. Feel free to send me an email if you have questions later on. My phone number is there as well. If you have questions for our admissions office, you can always call or email our admissions office directly. The email address is admissions@csuohio.edu, or you can call 216-523-7416. And the one website where you can go to get more information, engagecsu.com. That's where you can find information about our majors, visits, things happening on campus and stuff like that. So engagecsu.com is another great resource to take a look at for more information. I'll go ahead. I know we have a couple questions in the Q&A here. Let's see here. So do you have dental hygiene? So we don't offer, the question is, do we have dental hygiene at CSU? So we don't offer a specific dental hygiene program. What we do have is a pre-dentistry program within our College of Pre-Professionals program at CSU. So essentially what you would do is you would attend CSU in the pre-dental program. You would then work with your pre-professional advisor who would then help you get into dental school. They have a lot of great partnerships and connections. So they have a really good acceptance rate for students to get into these professional programs after attending CSU. If you have more questions about that, like I said, you have our information there for reaching out. So we'll be happy if you want to send me an email. We can always reach out with more information on that, but we don't specifically have that dental hygiene program. We have a pre-dentistry program, which will then allow students to take classes at CSU, but then apply for dentistry, dental school with the partnerships that we already have built. So another question is, will applying without the ACT affect amount of money that you're able to get? So the criteria for our scholarships has not been finalized yet. So what we're going to be looking at though is your cumulative high school GPA. So like I mentioned in the slides, the in-state scholarships typically range up to $24,000 for in-state students. So once that criteria is finalized, we're going to be looking at that cumulative GPA. So submitting ACT scores or SAT scores, we will accept them, but they're not going to have an effect on your what merit-based scholarships are available. We're only going to be looking at the cumulative GPA for students in order to give everyone a fair process in what merit-based scholarships are awarded to them. Let me scroll through here and see any more questions we have. So one question we had come in was, if you check out the Career Center that we offer for our students about your intended major, will they help with, will that help you be considered for admission? So the Career Center is really there to help students outside the classroom at CSU. They're not there to specifically help you with your admission to CSU, but it's there for once you have been admitted to Cleveland State University. It allows you different options for internships and co-ops. That's their purpose there, is to make sure students have opportunities within their program outside the classroom. It wouldn't be something that would help you with your admission into CSU. It's there to aid you with your next steps after CSU. For our transcripts and for your GPA, when you submit your application, we're going to be looking at an unweighted GPA. Some transcripts have unweighted or weighted, but we're going to be looking at your unweighted GPA at CSU. Oh, so the question, so for about the Career Center. So yeah, so the student said, they're attending a vocational high school. Will attending something like that help you with your admission? It could help with as far as like classes and credits you've already taken. And again, that's why we do the full credit evaluation. So those classes you've already taken at your high school, with your going into a certain career, we'll make sure your first year advisor is aware of those. They'll know what program you're going into, and they'll be able to help you out with making sure that you already have the college credits available. And that way you're not retaking classes or anything like that. And it can help you kind of accelerate your progress in the program a little bit faster. And let's see, I think we have one more. So what kind of majors do you have for graphic? So we do offer a graphic design major at CSU. It's actually a really cool program to be a part of, just because it is located in our arts campus. So again, any show, gallery, exhibit, whatever's happening at Playhouse Square, those students have opportunities to work alongside those professionals. And being in the graphic design program, you'll be able to, put together different, posters, promotional items, things like that. Whatever's happening, at the Playhouse Square theaters, our students are able to work on that. It's not just for, CSU shows. It's going to be professional shows that are coming through. So there's a graphic design major, but there's also within that different programs and specialties that students can go into as well. And like I said, if you visit engagecsu.com, there's a tab that for academics that actually shows all of our different majors and minors, as well as the college website for that specific major. So I would encourage everyone to go check out that website, check out the different majors and minors, go check out the university website, just to get a little bit more information about that specific program that you're interested in. And so I think that wraps up all the questions we had come in, and we're kind of getting close to the time. So again, I appreciate you all, tuning in and listening to me talk about CSU for 45 minutes. Again, my information is on the screen there. So if you have questions later on, feel free to reach out to me. If I'm not your specific admissions counselor, I'd be happy to forward you along to your specific admissions counselor. So they're able to help you out with any questions you do have. But if you have any general questions, again, feel free to email our admissions inbox. We're checking it regularly. We're forwarding it over to admissions counselors to get you some answers. Like I said, no matter what process you are in at CSU, we want to make sure that there's someone there to help you out. So we have, counselors designated to each territory to make sure that students are able to be assisted. We're happy to help you out. And again, I hope, you enjoyed this information. And again, we hope to see you on campus here, maybe for an in-person tour or information session. But again, we hope to see you back here in the fall for your first year at CSU. So thanks again, guys. Appreciate it. And yeah, should wrap everything up for us.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining Ryan and his presentation about Cleveland State. We'd like you to know that when you close your window, there will be a very, very quick 4-question survey. We really appreciate your feedback because, of course, living during the times of COVID, we know that this is not a substitute for a regular college fair, but we think that this gives students a pretty good alternative through the Ohio Association of College Admission Counselors. Speaking of OACAC, you'll see that you can sign up for even more sessions. So we hope that you are signed up for others so that you and your families, your friends can learn about different institutions, different topics which affect you while you're in your senior year and choosing colleges. And know that there will be a recording available. I know that one of you asked about that and I responded to you, but you can simply find it at www.oacac.org. We thank you so much. Ryan, you have a great night. Everyone, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks. You have a good one, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.